Hello friends, this is John in the United Kingdom broadcasting to Elton John fans throughout the world. Now a few months ago I did a couple of videos choosing my favourite 30 Elton John love songs. Well, today I'm going to choose my favourite 30 Elton John rock songs, and in this video I'm going to be counting down from 30 to 16. Now you may ask, what is a rock song? How do you define a rock song? Well, I had a look at this, a look at a few definitions, and it's defined as a broad genre of popular music that originated in the 1950s. And here's the key bit: it's a form of music with a strong beat. And that's about as close as I could get to it. Well, that's pretty wide ranging, isn't it? So I'm going to make my selection now. And I suppose the key things I was looking for are things like it being up tempo, having a rock beat, a strong rhythm, possibly in 4/4 time, but those kind of features. Maybe not with a big story or a strong message, but just a bit of fun, the sort of thing that gets your foot tapping, and an exciting bit of music. And we know that Elton is very strong with these. So let's have a look at the first ones in my chart. Just a few honourable mentions first. Restless from Breaking Hearts, a track Elton played live quite a lot after it came out. Exciting track. Heels of the Wind from The Fox, again an accomplished bit of rock music that. Wicked Dreams from The Big Picture, lots of people like that track as well. And the fourth one is the positively explosive duet he did with Millie Jackson, Act of War. It doesn't get much more rock than that, and you really do need a lie down after listening to that track. So those are some honourable mentions. Now at number 30 I'm going to the Jump Up album for the opening track, perhaps slightly underrated track, Dear John. This is about a Dear John letter. It's a real rocker here. It's a fairly ordinary tune, I suppose, considering some of the great rock songs Elton's written, but it's quite an exciting opener, quite pleasant, nice one to sing along to. Number 29, I'm going to the Duets album that Elton did, and Elton said he couldn't believe when this artist walked into the studio because he was such a hero of Elton's, and of course it's Little Richard, and the track they did together was called The Power. Decent song, this one. Again, a good beat to it, and two great artists working together. Number 28, I'm going to the Breaking Hearts album. Quite an underrated album, I would say, for this one. And it's track number 9, Did He Shoot Her? There's a nice run of three really good sort of upbeat tracks on the second side of this. And Did He Shoot Her is probably the best of the three. Number 27, we're going to the One album, and another duet, this one, something Elton did with Eric Clapton. It's called Runaway Train. Again, it's a very exciting sort of pulsating track with a very strong rhythm. The two artists working well together there, and of course we get an Eric Clapton guitar solo in that. Then at number 26, I'm going to Reg Strikes Back, and the track here is track number 9, Poor Cow. Again, quite a good rock song, this one. Not one that you hear Elton play at all, but there's some decent tracks on this album, some quite interesting, deeper tracks, and I urge you to have a look at that one. And then on track 25, we're going back to the Jump Up album. That's interesting, isn't it? We've already gone to this a couple of times. And the track I've chosen is Where Have All the Good Times Gone? Now, interesting little fact about this one is there's two different versions of it. The version on here is slightly slower. Elton also did a slightly quicker version, which worked as, I think, a B-side to a single. And I prefer the slightly more upbeat, slightly sort of looser, a bit of more of a sort of a live feel to that one. Quite a decent song as well. Again, another underrated one from what's quite an interesting album, this one. 24, we're going to Too Low for Zero and the track Kiss the Bride. A pretty memorable video for this one, set in sort of a scrap yard with a lot of sort of heavy rockers there. It's a good old-fashioned rocking track, this one. Not too much sort of subtlety about it, but it's an enjoyable and fun listen. Number 23, we're going to Reg Strikes Back for Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatter's Part 2. This is a follow-up to the Honky Chateau initial album track Part 1, which of course was a gentle ballad. Well, the follow-up though is much more of a heavy rock tune. Again, the lyrics are drawing on that atmosphere of New York City. Good lyrics this by Bernie. So very interesting chord changes, a very sort of jazzy rock feel to this. Nice bit of trumpet solo in there. Pretty accomplished track. And of course, Elton has, in concert live, played both of them together, although they are quite different from each other. Now, 22 is our first visit to Peachtree Road. Again, another album I like very much. And I've chosen They Call Her the Cat. It's just a bit of a whimsy, a bit of fun, this one. But again, it's one of those that you can sort of wind your car window down and enjoy playing pretty loud. And don't worry that other people are watching you or listening to you. Now, number 21, going to Red Strikes Back again for the track The Camera Never Lies. Again, an underrated one, this one. Maybe you haven't heard it unless you're a die-hard Elton fan, but it's a good rocker with a strong beat, decent tune on this one, and it's a nice listen. So number 20, we're going back to the 1970s and Elton's Blue Moves double album. Again, another favourite of mine, if you can have that many favourites. And I've chosen the final track, Bite Your Lip, Get Up and Dance. Now, this is sort of a disco-y track. It's hard to say really, but I think it qualifies as a rock song as well. It's got a very memorable refrain to this one. They're obviously having a lot of fun in the studio making this one, and it's got a very sort of long fade out. This you get nearly 7 minutes of music. It's a bit of fun. Again, it's another underrated one. I'm trying to pick the sort of the deeper cuts that I prefer to listen to, so I commend that one to you as well. Number 19 is another visit to Red Strikes Back. So it's proving to be quite a popular choice with me, this one. Certainly for rockers, Elton must have been in an upbeat mood when he was writing for this one. Now, I've chosen the track on here, I Don't Want to Go On With You Like That, which of course is a very popular Elton song and was a big hit for him. Quite a simple structure to this one, but I think that makes it more memorable in a way. Now, I was listening recently to other versions there are of this one out there, other mixes, and I would commend those to you if you can find them. There's a couple of other mixes I've found which are much longer. Just play with the structure, play with the melody a little bit, add a few more effects in. So see what you make of those. Okay, number 18 now. Now, regular viewers of this channel will know that this song had to get in there somewhere because I'm going to the Fox album and, of course, the wonderful track, Just Like Belgium. One of my favourite lyrics, actually, this one. It's a very catchy tune. It's got a great video, if you ever get a chance to watch it, where Elton's having great fun in kind of a sort of a European club in the basement, you know, which is really rocking with his music. So again, give this one a listen if you don't. It's a very fun lyric and one of his most memorable melodies for me. At number 17, I've put in Pinball Wizard, which of course doesn't appear on any of Elton John's studio albums, so it does appear as a bonus track, I think, on Caribou. But yeah, this isn't an original song. It's written, of course, by The Who, and it's from the musical Tommy. But it's a very exciting presentation by Elton. It starts very exciting with those sort of arpeggios on the keyboard, and it's a good vocal performance for him. And who cannot say that this is you know, a very accomplished rock song. Number 16, I've gone to Made in England and the title track, Made in England. Now, of course, this isn't some sort of jingoistic song. This is a song that addresses discrimination, really, how people have been unfairly treated by others, often because of the way they choose to live their lives. So I think it's an important track, and Elton and Bernie are saying something really important with it. And it's also a very catchy song, and it's quite a hard rocker, this one, actually. It drives really well through. So that's my choice, again, from another very accomplished album. So I've counted down there from 30 to 16. I'm going to give you a chance now to add your notes underneath of your favourite Elton John rock songs. Put down whatever you like, your top 10 or your top 5, or do the whole top 30 if you want to. We're looking throughout his career. Maybe there are some that I've missed. Maybe you can find some that aren't on any of the studio albums which he's recorded and you enjoy. So thanks for watching now. I'll be back shortly with the top 15. So all the best. Thanks for coming along, and don't forget, we are still standing. I wonder if that one will be in the top 15.